way to take it back. This is the steel and canvas. This ain't no time for practice. High stakes, spectacle, adrenaline attack. Welcome to Slammin' It. Slammin' It.
And welcome to another installment of Slammin' It. I am Mando Medina, the Jack of Rock. Jack Lutz will be with us momentarily. It is a super hot Wednesday afternoon wherever you are in this fine world we call it the planet of Earth. So está super caliente. A lot of stuff to get to. Like I said, Jack will be joining us in a couple of seconds. I know Andy is waiting already patiently because Andy, I'm expecting Andy to get a little bit hot today because there's some stuff going on that he's not happy about some other programming notes, but still it's going to be a good show. Of course, we're going to preview SummerSlam later on. We're going to have a couple of guests. We'll have Fonzie. Like I said, we're going to have Albert Cerda, who I truly believe is the number one wrestling fan in the city of El Paso, Juarez, Las Cruces, the area. My man's been going to almost every single local event. He does as much stuff as he can, and he's been doing that for years. So I've known Albert for such a long time, and I want to get his thoughts on, he went to both the Las Cruces show, the WWE show. Then, of course, he went to the Monday Night Raw show. I believe it was in Dallas. So a couple of things that we are going to talk about before we bring in Jack and Andy as well. I just want to kind of set it up as to what's going on. By the way, you dig my look? I got the Cody cap, and I got the CM Punk shirt. That is your night one of SummerSlam. So we're going to talk. I want to talk about Monday Night Raw. One of the things that made me very, very happy is Raquel Rodriguez finally winning the Intercontinental Championship. It is about damn time they put a strap other than the Tag Team Championships on Rodriguez. Of course, she's former NXT champion, a great wrestler. And I think it was great they did that. First of all, shout out to my man Tony. He says, yo. Or is he saying, woo? What is he? He's just saying, yo. That's Andy's brother. So we'll talk about to Andy in a couple of seconds. So I'm happy about that. Like I said, very happy about that. The worst, I saw the worst, probably, it's been a long time since I've been watching Monday Night Raw, and I saw something that took place, and I said, what in the hell is that? I'll let you know what it is. And this is one of the guys that I do like. Actually, two guys that I like. I know it's one of the guys that Andy likes, and it was absolutely horrible. One of the stupidest things I've seen in a long time, because I don't think anybody's really responding to it. But we'll talk about that. I do have some programming stuff when it comes to NXT, which is on right now. Earlier today, ESPN announced that CW Sports is going to launch live streaming on the ESPN app beginning on Tuesday. So next Tuesday, August the 4th, it's going to be part of the ESPN Unlimited plan. Also, from what I hear, if you had YouTube TV, I said in the past tense because I had YouTube TV. And one of the reasons why I kept it was because when they switched to ESPN Unlimited, remember, if you have DirecTV, if you have, I don't know if you have Spectrum, if you have one of these other ones, Comcast, you right off the bat, it was part of your ESPN Unlimited programming. You wouldn't have to pay extra because you're already paying for ESPN through your cable satellite subscriber and provider, and it was supposed to be like that for YouTube TV. And remember, it's going to be a year, almost a year since the WWE switched to ESPN Plus, ESPN Unlimited. I think it was the WrestlePalooza. I believe that was in September of last year. So ever since then, I had been waiting very patiently. And then they said it'll be before the year, then once the year ended. And then it'll be maybe in February. Of course, it never happened. So basically what I did, I got rid of YouTube TV, because there's so many other options where I can go out there and not have to spend. YouTube TV used to be great. When they first started, it was $43. Now it's about almost $100. It's crazy. But nonetheless, if you still do have the YouTube TV, then you're going to be able to watch, from what I understand, is SummerSlam on Saturday and Sunday. So like I said, we'll talk about that. I'm going to bring Andy in right now. We'll bring in Jack when he gets there, because Andy is very hot about what's going on, of course. WWE Radio launched on Monday, and basically WWE Radio is basically the Busted Open Radio Network. This is Sirius XM. And congratulations to what they've done, because they took wrestling and they're talking about it every single day. So it's a 24-hour channel of professional wrestling on Sirius XM. I don't know the channel. Andy will let me know right now, a couple of seconds, what it is. But late last week, it was announced that they're going to switch to WWE Radio. So that means one of the things I do like is that they're going to start, and remember, I'm a radio guy, Jack's a radio guy as well. So one of the things I do like, because it's situations where, depending like when you get to October, November, because I'm doing football, basketball, whatever, though I might not be able to watch a pay-per-view live because I have to do something else. But if I'm driving somewhere, then I'm laughing because Felipe knows exactly what I'm upset about when it comes to the Raw segment. And they're going to start doing commentary, radio commentary for the WWE PLEs, and I think that's great because I can do that. If I'm in my car and I can't watch it, I can listen to it because I'm an old school guy. And this is what Felipe says. Felipe says, "Let me guess, it was the Joe Hendry Danhausen." Yes, it sucked big time. It sucked big time. You're correct. That segment was totally cursed. So let's bring in Andy right now. Andy, what's going on, brother? How are you today? Thank you for joining us. By the way, you were in a cruise, dude. How was your cruise?
Oh, we went to the Bahamas. That was wonderful. Wish I was still there. Beautiful water, beautiful island, beautiful everything. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So, Andy,
So
when you're the one that first let me know about the WWE radio going to Sirius. By the way, what channel is Sirius XM? Is it
channel
145?
156.
Okay,
156.
156. It used to be Busted Open Radio, and like I said, Dave LaGreca and Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, whatever you want to call them, were the main
Bully
guys.
Ray,
Yeah,
Mark
but
Henry,
Henry,
and Tommy Dreamer. That's a core four, is what they
yeah,
call them.
and
But
I was
well, I
gonna
was
say
gonna
like, go ahead and tell me. I know why you're upset, so go ahead and tell me why you're upset. Go ahead, brother.
so that show, well, it started Busted Open Radio. I've heard their story, and I haven't listened to them that long, but it reminds me a lot of 25 years ago when I was with you back on the mothership. You know, the whole idea of Slammin' It came up. So they're a show that started once a week for an hour a week, and it's grown. So I gotta say hats off to them because they grew that product into now they're a WWE product. You know, that's they've reached the top of the heap. But what I don't like, you know, Thunder Rosa was a regular on that show also.
Yep,
Nick Nemeth, he's a regular on that show. We got the opportunity to meet him,
yep,
last year. Thunder Rosa came for a house show at a smaller place, but I got to meet her, talk to her, told her I listened to her, and that was a lot of fun to listen to her and her take the Latino take, right?
yeah,
So she is not there anymore, and what they're saying is that the programming is not going to change, but it is going to change, and that's what I don't like because they talked pro wrestling across all spectrums, across all brands. Granted, WWE's the big dog; they're the ones who dominate everything, but we did get our fix of AEW. The partnership with TNA. Let's see how that goes. They'll talk some TNA, but I know AEW is off the board, and to me, that's a hurt on the industry. But hats off to LaGreca because his vision 20 plus years ago, now it's growing into this, and it sucks for people like us that listen. I can't watch it all. I do a lot of catch up on that,
yeah, exactly.
but it's just good for them, but bad for the industry, I guess.
So basically, it's all pro WWE, and you would expect that. Like I said, the thing that does make me kind of sad is for Thunder Rosa, who does a tremendous job, you know. But like I said, it makes sense at the same time because like Nick Nemeth is safe because he's in TNA, and of course TNA has a great working relationship with the WWE unless Vince McMahon decides to buy him because there's a rumor about that. But still, Thunder Rosa side that she's not going to be there. But like I said, it kind of makes sense that AEW is not going to be mentioned or any of the other ones. So it's kind of sad because of what it is. So let's welcome Jack, who's joining us now, who's was doing stuff. But Jack, thank you so much for joining. So basically, Jack, what we're talking about right now is the whole situation where the WWE radio, which was Busted Radio Network, like they do a great job. You know, congratulations to them. Yeah, Busted Open, and no more AEW talk, which I think is a shame. But like at the same time, I get it. I get it. It's kind of like if Pepsi had a show, they're not going to talk about Coke. You know, same. You know, what do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I think that's just a rule of thumb for them. I think that they'll probably give acknowledgments maybe here and there if somebody comes in and comes out. You know, this person came in from AEW, this person left too, but I don't think they're going to go into any extensive talks when it comes to, you know, the other company or any other company for that matter that doesn't have the WWE stamp on it.
Andy, I do have a little bit of a good news is that apparently AEW is working on an AEW podcast network. I know right now AEW, they do a good job because there's several people that have their own podcasts. And I think that's one of the things I think that the WWE kind of stole from AEW, because as soon as AEW launched, the wrestlers were doing their own podcast. I forget her name, the referee. She has her own one. Of course, Jericho.
Aubrey.
Aubrey has one. Jericho's had one forever, but that's on the Jericho network or the Talk is Jericho, whatever he calls it, whatever network he does it. But like a lot of the wrestlers, like and if you go to allelitewrestling.com, you can find all the podcasts, you know. So they're the ones that first started. Then the WWE, where they were smart, like, hey, you know what? Let's just put it under like our banner, our YouTube page or whatever, everything, you know, and you got the Cody stuff, you got the Stephanie McMahon, the Undertaker, you know, the Coles got kind of screwed over, you know, because they started strong with, it's true. I mean, the Undertaker, when they started with the Undertaker one, well, is it
the
called
6 feet under?
6 feet under with the guy that was doing with him, that he started it, you know, Undertaker basically just showed up and I'm making it simplified, but the other guy did a lot of the picking up of everything. And Undertaker, of course, he was the star, so he's kind of like the talent. But at the end of the day, well, they shared the rights to the show. But then, from what we understand, like they moved them out, you know, and now it's on the WWE universe. So I mean, but good for them. But like I said, for Andy, that might be a thing. AEW Podcast Network, you know, maybe you'll be able to see some of the more stuff there with AEW.
With AEW, I mean, like you get a recap. They do Busted Open After Dark, and they'll recap whatever. I mean, there's wrestling 5 days a week. I'm curious to see what the talk is gonna be Thursday night or Wednesday night, Thursday morning. You know, it replays in the morning, but it sucks. I think it sucks, but I get it at the same time. So there. I mean, there's some pluses. There's some minuses. They're going to simulcast the Raw broadcast, the SmackDown broadcast, the pay-per-view broadcast. They'll do other shows. I mean, I heard Seth Rollins on there, who Dave LaGreca really hadn't gotten to know. He's one of the few, but Triple H, all the big names are going to be there now.
Well, as much as a hypocrite Seth Rollins sounds, where he doesn't want the internet wrestling community to be voicing their opinion, he's the first one up jumping down. I can guarantee you that as soon as he finishes his career, he's going to be in the broadcasting, because he does the Rich Eisen show. He fills in from, like, he's one of like his permanent fill-ins. So when Rich Eisen is not there, like Seth Rollins, like he was there, I think last week.
He's done a very good job.
And he does a good job. That's what I'm saying. So it kind of makes me laugh when he says that, hey, the internet wrestling community should shut up, when he's literally doing the same thing. The only difference, he's talking about football, these other sports, but you know, that's what he's going to do. So, like, it makes sense that guys like that are going to get their own stuff. I don't know if I'll be watching Raw or listening to SmackDown, but for sure the pay-per-views, for sure, I will be listening if I'm driving, if for some reason I can't watch it, because, like, three of us, we all started in radio. So, like, that's how we're kind of, like geared to, you know? So, yeah.
I could do that. I could deal with that. That'd be actually kind of cool. Going on a nice little road trip, and then you listen to the radio station.
Yeah, because like I said, like if you got the satellite radio, you can do that. But like at the same time, if you're paying for that ESPN Unlimited, you can just pull that up on your phone and you can watch it and listen to it at the same time. So, Andy, what else is going on in your world? I mean, Jack, I don't know if you probably missed this, but I already publicly said, and I haven't really talked a lot about it, but the Danhausen Joe Henry was probably one of the worst things I have seen in a very long time on Raw. It straight out sucked like bad. It was absolutely horrific to
Guys,
watch that.
that's what we call jumping the shark.
Yeah,
It's
already,
called a
like
shark
already,
jump.
like it's like
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like, hey, like Joe Henry was the guy, say his name, and he appears and does all this stuff. He goes to WrestleMania. Then all of a sudden, a year later, uh, we thought Mr. Lizard was going to be doing the same thing, but Pobrecito, my man can't speak English or properly or whatever. So, like, they're making money off the Lizard merchandise. But then you got a guy come in and Dan Housing, and Dan Housing is going to do all this stuff. And when you look at the situation with Dan Housing, it's too much now. It's way too much, and it's stupid. It was just stupid. I mean, the funniest thing to me was the dancers that they brought in, because you can tell they just look bad. I know. Andy, you tell
Yeah.
me first, and then Jack, you go. Andy, you go first.
Well, those were the LA Clipper girls, but the whole thing. I mean, they're cross promoting. You know, the Ryan Garcia was there. I mean, I just thought the whole. I agree. The whole thing was dumb, and it's, you know, a sprinkle of it every now and then is good, but they're doing it every single show, every single opportunity. He, well, right there, yeah, Dirty
Yeah.
Dom. I was gonna say,
Dirty
you know,
Dom was the hottest heel a few months ago, and look at him now.
he beat John Cena.
Oh my
He
God,
beat
John Cena. John
He
Cena.
was at the top of the heap, and now he's doing the comic relief stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like that you know. I don't know what they're doing with that. The whole Judgment Day, the human monies on a pole match is like,
Yeah.
those are all
It-
you know, the
So,
clownish.
basically, gentlemen. Well, first of all, Jack, what do you think about the segment before I ask another
No,
question?
like I said, they've officially jumped the shark, and expect now. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. You're going to start seeing, hearing boos from the crowd, because I honestly think this guy's been spread too thin. There is such a thing as too much exposure. Too much exposure, which is very weird in Danhausen's case, because he hasn't wrestled that much, but he has been on camera every single week, every house show. So I really think that the crowd may start to turn on him.
And the thing about Danhausen, of course, he came up through the independent scene, so he's a good wrestler. Like I said, everybody that's
Yeah.
on the WWE roster, like say 99% of them, all of them are tremendous wrestlers, because
Minus
got.
Jake Cargill, yes.
I mean, I said 99%. Notice how I left that 1% there, you know.
Agreed.
Not that you said that, you know, they're going to have to do something with Sol Ruca. You know, they're going to have to teach her to be less careful, because she's like the new Nia Jax. I was telling Fonzie,
That
you
could
know,
be
like,
more, yeah.
you know how Nia Jax was getting a lot of flack that she would injure the other wrestlers, because let's
Yeah.
be honest, it is what it is. She would outweigh the normal women's wrestler, and she's just so strong and powerful. She doesn't know her own strength. But with Sol Ruca, some of the moves that she's doing just kind of like dangerous, and like we saw what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Literally broke the nose of a great visual for Raquel, you know. But you can hear it if you're watching the match
Yeah.
and you're listening. You can tell
Right.
she was upset, because she was like cussing her out in Spanish, and you know she was not playing around. You know, so like they got to do something about that as well.
You
There's your
what part of
1%
that-
person.
Go ahead,
You
Andy.
know what part of that is she has only been in the business, I think, 4 years, something to that effect. But she doesn't know. She still doesn't know. After a while, after so much time, it's a dance, right, with
Yeah.
your opponent. She doesn't know those kind of things yet, because it becomes intuitive after a while. But she doesn't have enough years of experience to do that, because when they're doing the Raw show, the SmackDown shows, they get thrown together a lot of times at night. But you know, when she was down on NXT, it was a little bit different. It's developmental.
Yeah.
So she got a lot more instruction, and now it's like, okay, flying. She's not flying. She's flying, but in the wrong kind of way.
By the way, Jack, before we get your thoughts, Albert, I know you're on hold, brother. We'll get to you in a couple of seconds. Jack, your thoughts on what you're seeing with the young Sol Ruca? Like, no, there's no doubt about it. She's a tremendous talent. She is tremendous. She's got so much potential. She just got to learn how to be careful, because I mean, you saw what happened with Raquel.
I mean, let me speak on this from experience. Potential can only take you so far. Potential, if you got raw potential, dude, it will. You can pack your bags. You can get going. I mean, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be coachable. You got to listen. You got to be able to review the tape, see your mistakes, see what you've done, try and better yourself, and that's where potential really can't take you. You got to have the discipline. You got to have the discipline to go with the potential. So I don't think she has that yet. Yet.
And Andy, your brother brings up a good point, as you see on the screen, that they're not wrestling the same amount of dates. I mean, Cody Rhodes was one of the ones like just going for like, hey, we need to do more house shows. And like I said, they finally started the house shows in the summer, but that's the reason why you had the house shows, because like that's where you get your reps in.
Practice,
Nowadays
yeah.
nowadays you're getting the reps during the on live TV. So, Andy, what are you excited the most about SummerSlam before we move on and get on with Albert?
The Hell in the Cell. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
the highlight. Not knocking the two main events because those are going to be tremendous,
Yeah.
but it just Brock in a cage with Oba. That's going to be hopefully that's an awesome. Not a 5 or 10 minute. That one needs to go the distance. If they lead with that one, because the first hour is on ESPN, it should take up most of that time. I think, or I hope.
I don't think they're gonna. I think the most they'll go is like maybe 20 minutes. I think they'll go 15 minutes, and that includes the entrances. Entrances alone is gonna be like 5 minutes. Like there's only so much there's only so much they can do.
Let's do an over or under.
They're not gonna go on top of the cage. Nobody does that anymore. Go ahead.
Let's
Jack.
do an over or under. Over or under, gentlemen. The over or under is going to be 12 minutes.
I say over.
Over.
Yeah, I say over. And Jack's gonna take the under.
I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
Somebody got to be different. Andy, I appreciate you, brother. All right. We'll do it again next week. Andy was very passionate as to where he wanted to talk about that, because, like I said, he was very upset about, because he listens to that program, and I totally understand. So now let's welcome in a man who I consider is the number one Lucha Libre fan, pro wrestling fan that the city of El Paso has generated, because he also goes to Juarez. He went to Juarez this past weekend. And so let's not even Ron. Let's bring in Albert. Albert, what's up, brother? How are you? Albert said it's been a long time, brother. I know you just got out of work. How's it going, bro?
Good, yeah. Like you said, just got out of work, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me find a spot. Thankfully, my friend lent me her car, so I was like, let me chill in here while I talk to you guys.
Well, I appreciate it. First of all, Albert, like I said, I'm not even making it up. You are like the professional wrestling expert in this city, because you go to everything. You go to all the live lucha events. How far do you go? I know you went to Dallas for Monday Night Raw. You went to Las Cruces, but when it comes to the other independent wrestling shows, how far from El Paso do you go? Because I know you go to Juarez. I know you go to Las Cruces. How far, in the state of Texas, do you actually go? Maybe Midland, Odessa? How far do you go?
Did he freeze?
I think Albert froze. Yeah. Yep, we lost him. We'll get him back right now. He'll call right back. But like
he was
I said,
being very stoic.
Yeah, he does do all that stuff. And like I said, we'll get back and we'll talk to Albert. He's going to call in right now. But yeah, I mean, it happens. It's technology. But yeah, Jack, I mean, just waiting for him to call back, and so we can get him on here. Because like I said, he's one of the guys that, we talked about the CM Punk situation last week, where there was that controversy about the hotel room and things of that nature. And he was one of the guys that was waiting out in the sun along with Andy's brother Tony, and they got the autographs. And so, I mean, as we wait for Albert to call up, give me your thoughts on this situation here. Solo Sikoa. They should just make him a good guy. They should just make him a face. I mean, obviously everybody's responding well to it. I know when Fonzie calls in, Fonzie's going to talk about how he was kind of a little bit rockish. And it looks kind of like The Rock. They're cousins after all,
Yeah, they're the same family.
I think they finally found something for Solo Sokola to do that, it's going to help out because
Yeah.
I mean, when he was the enforcer for my tribal chief Roman Reigns, it was great. But then once they had him talking and all, it didn't go that good. But now that he is like the good guy, the way they're portraying him, I think it's great. Your thoughts?
I think, yeah, they found something with him, and you can tell that he's having fun. You can tell that this is him. That this is more him than he's ever been. If that makes any sense. And he's found something. He's found that moniker, the Solo Dolo. So, and the crowd has been really responding to him. So, and that's the funny thing now with WWE is if they're going to do anything. It used to be where if you found something organically and the crowd started responding, usually the WWE would lean into that and push forward into that. Nowadays, in the past couple of years, that really hasn't been the case. So it's really going to be interesting to see if they really go further with that character with where he's going right now. So I like it a lot.
I really like what they're gonna do with Solo Sokola. So like, cause I guess the Usos are the bad guys in this situation, but who knows? Because the crowd is still going crazy for them. LA Knight, By the way, I believe that the Saturday, if you have to pick and choose which night of SummerSlam you're gonna watch, without a doubt, it's not even a debate for me. Saturday is the day you got to watch. Saturday, the card is stacked on Saturday, and I'll get to that in a couple of seconds. But if I have to pick, I don't know about you, Jack, but for me, it's Saturday. That's the day that. And well, let me tell you all the matches. And Albert's phone overheated, so like he'll try to find a spot. I understand it's super hot outside, and with these iPhones, it happens.
Triple digit heat, baby. Yeah.
By the way, Felipe lets us know that the Hell in a Cell segment was not as bad as the Dan Housing, but it was not good too. We all saw sometimes that happens. One of the because the one thing I kept thinking about was that all they got to do is lift the cage. I got to do is lift the cage because they started the show with them dropping down the cage. All they got to do is have Triple H like Triple H raise it for me or whatever, and they will do that. Exactly. So I don't know. And then it made no sense that he went after the cops because we saw that like 2 weeks ago. And then sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like when he was trying to give the guy the power bomb because the guy basically weighed nothing to Oba, so he kind of like flipped him, then held on to him, and then finally did the sit down power bomb. So yeah, Andy just left us, but he says that they still have a $25 tickets with Justin Jefferson's code, so that's how they're trying to get that. So let's talk about the card on Saturday. Let me let you know what the card is, and then we will decide which one is the better one. So of course, you got the main event, WWE Championship, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Then you got the Hell in the Cell. Yep. And then we got the 6-man tag match with LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys versus the Bloodline. Then you got the singles match, Gunther versus Nick Aldis, which I am looking forward to the most. I think of all the matches here, that's the one I'm most intrigued because a lot of people don't realize Nick Aldis is a tremendous wrestler.
Dude, get ready to see. He's going to be ripped to the bone.
We've got the Women's World Championship, Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. And then you got the Fatal Influence versus Paige and the Bella Twins. So of all those matches, the last one that I mentioned, that's the only one that I'm like, oh, okay. The rest of them, like, they got good storylines.
My goodness.
And I know Albert is back. We'll get to him in a couple of seconds because I believe he is now inside the mall, from what I can tell, because I can see what he's doing before you guys see it. So on Sunday, we have of course, the World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Great build-up for that. They got which I think would be the steal of the night, Intercontinental Championship, Penta versus Chad Gable. And then we have the interim WWE's Women's Championship ladder match, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Charlotte Flair, and the one that I want to win it would be Chelsea Green. How awesome would it be if Chelsea Green wins the championship? Yeah. It'd just be great.
I'm hoping. Wait, is that still Saturday? Is that talking?
I'm talking about Sunday now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so that's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then you got Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio, as Andy said, a Human Monies match. Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. Then you got U.S. title match, Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin. So let's welcome back Albert, who's back in cooler situations. Like I said, Albert, I know, bro. Like
It looks like you're in the back rooms. Looks like you're in the back rooms movie. You have somebody chasing you.
Have you seen that movie? I have not
Which
seen
one?
that movie. Backrooms.
No, I haven't.
It's
No,
like a-
dude, but damn it, you'll get the reference once you
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
It looks like you're gonna have like something demonic after you chasing you in the back. Which mall are you at?
Yeah, I'm pretty much back in the store, so I gotta find me a little spot here.
Are you at Cela Vista Mall?
Yes.
Okay, Cela Vista Mall. So Albert, before we got cut off, the question I asked you was like, how far do you go to see indie wrestling? Like, how far in the state of Texas do you go to go watch it?
What was that again? Sorry, it cut off a little bit.
I was asking, like, we know you go to Juarez, to Las Cruces, different parts of Texas to watch wrestling. When it comes to independent wrestling, how far do you go in the state of Texas? Like Midland, Odessa? I mean, how far will you go to watch wrestling?
I've been to Houston. I think that's probably the farthest I've been to an independent show. This was probably 3 years ago.
That being said, let me ask you this.
I've
Let me
been
ask you
to Orlando for WrestleMania.
Okay. But if they were to have a pay-per-view, a PLE in Corpus Christi, you would go. Right?
Of course, yeah. Heck
There
yeah,
you
I would.
go. So
Okay,
one half of Texas to the
Plus,
other.
I've never been to Corpus Christi.
Okay, so let's talk, and I know there's like a little bit of delay because he's got to hear us, and then we got to respond to what he says. So let's talk about the. Tell me your experience in the WWE show from Las Cruces, and then you it felt like you didn't even sleep because from what I could from your social media, I could tell you went straight to the airport, and like by Monday morning, like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., you were already in Dallas, and I was like, wow, you started in Dallas, so like. Tell us about the process. What were both the events like for you?
Well, actually, first let me correct you. It was actually Greyhound.
Okay.
So yeah, I got back from Cruces. I think midnight. By 4, because the bus leaving to Dallas left at 4:30 in the morning. So yeah, I was in Dallas by 6 in the afternoon on Sunday.
Wow.
But
And how
Did you take a bus when you were
the show?
Yeah. Did you take a bus when you were in Juarez? Did you take the Mexican bus?
Yeah, no, I won't go that far. I don't. Well,
With the
I mean,
chickens
I
and
used to
everything?
when I was younger, but not.
and how was the what was the difference? What was the difference? Well, excuse me, Albert. What was the difference between the house show? Like, obviously, there's a lot, but like the experience for you from going to the house show to going to Monday Night Raw. Like, well, what was like? And I'm asking because of the ticket prices, because we know that you go from a house show and then you go to Monday Night Raw, and it's the expense goes way up. So, like, is it really worth the difference? Or I guess what I'm trying to say is, it really worth what they're charging for a house show for WWE?
I mean, what was it? I think the last time they were here, we paid like maybe 40, 50, 60 bucks, almost the same seats.
Yep.
And I mean, don't think the prices for this year, they weren't that bad. Especially because for me personally, I will say I did enjoy the house show more, only because I had a friend that went with me. She had never been to a WWE show ever. So like I got more enjoyment out of her having a blast than I did for myself. You know, because she's been a wrestling fan for a long time. She's been to a couple of local shows. But the fact that, like I said, she had a blast. For me, that was like what made at least the house show probably. I mean, like I said, yeah, it was different between it's Raw live, right? So it's different. We saw different people. We saw Roman. We saw different experiences. But I think for me, for that personal reason, I think I enjoyed the house show a little bit more, only because of the fact that, like I said, she got to enjoy the show live for the first time, and she had a blast.
Albert, I have to ask because I don't know, brother. Like, who is your obviously, you're a big Lucha Libre fan, but like right now, like, who are some of your favorite wrestlers that you love to go watch, or like either on TV? Because like Jack, my man Albert's watching wrestling 24/7. I see social media, like he's always watching wrestling. So, first of all, what do you like to watch? And then also, like I said, who are your favorite wrestlers right now?
He froze again.
No, he's there. Oh,
Yeah, I
he
know.
froze.
Like, it keeps kind of like freezing in and
Yeah.
out. I still
Uh,
heard you, but like I
well,
was picking up. Uh, I think honestly, right now, what I'm watching more, like at least on TV, is probably just WWE and AEW. Like I'll try to watch Impact, but just the fact that it's so hard to find, um, it's hard to kind of keep up with it. Obviously, WWE and AEW is a lot more accessible. I do watch AAA. I will watch AAA. Same
mhm.
reason, because I mean YouTube, right? So it's easy to
Yep.
find. But if I had the ability to watch everything, I would watch everything. You know. And honestly, right now, I think the one that I'm enjoying the most is Penta. I think Penta's right now, that's the match. Honestly, I know we haven't covered SummerSlam yet, but I think him and Gabe are going to steal a show this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Actually, right before you came back on, I was just basically naming the matches happening. And I said on Sunday, like the match for me is gonna probably be Stealing Sunday. It will be Penta versus Chad Gable because that Penta probably got together with Chad. Was like, hey, bro, let's do something like you did with El Grande Americano for AAA. Let's try to do something like that. Hopefully, they give him at least 20 minutes. I hope and I pray that they do this because these guys are so good.
Me too.
Albert, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Like next time, like I got to get you like in the studio or somehow. Like why get you hardwired because there's so much more stuff I got to talk to you about. But Albert, I appreciate you. I know you like literally came off work to come on board with us. So, Albert, first of all, before we move on, like who do you got winning that match, Penta versus Chad Gable?
Gable.
And what about
I mean,
the big ones, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes?
I say Punk.
How about Roman and Seth?
I mean, they could sort of, you know what, Roman, only because Seth's been bragging too much about how he hasn't beaten him.
And Lesnar versus Obafemi.
Oba.
Yeah. All right, brother. I appreciate you for joining us. And like I said, we'll try it again like in 2 weeks, and try to get you like hardwired in here or something so you don't have to worry about the connection. All right, brother. But Albert, I do appreciate you, brother. All right, thanks,
you guys
Albert.
too, man.
I appreciate you,
Talk
Albert. You got it. And there is Albert, like I said, Jack, the number one. Like, there's so much stuff I get to ask him, like
He
because of
represents.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he represents everything that's good with the fandom. There's so many good memories of being at shows and doing shows, and he's there. Just
Well, like I
brings a
said,
good feeling.
Albert is
Yeah.
the guy that literally is there at the arena like super early,
Yeah,
and he waits patiently to get his autograph because he does that type of stuff. So
that's cool. I
before
felt good.
we
It hit me in the nostalgia heart there. So that's
yeah,
good.
dude. I mean, like I said, and Albert's been doing this forever, like forever. Like me and you, we stopped. He did not. He kept going. He kept doing all this stuff. I mean, we moved on. And by the way, have you seen the Odyssey yet?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say, if you're gonna say
Yeah.
no, I would say don't.
Yes.
Are you gonna?
No,
Are you?
you check this out. After you and I spoke about it, I
Yep.
saw it 2 days later.
Okay,
I had
good.
to see it during the week because, dude, you go see that on the
Oh
weekend
no,
because of
it
how
was
much
still.
money it made. Dude, you
Yeah.
gotta really. And for those that are just tuning in, dude, that's sold out. That's sold out here in Cruces.
Yeah, because they got
So-
one movie theater.
Yeah, two. It's saying two. So it was hard to go see. So it's that being said, it's so nice going. And you and I have done this to
Oh,
go
yeah.
see a movie during the week when
That-
nobody's
that-
there.
That was one of the perks of working morning radio that you have your afternoons off. So when everybody's at work, you can go to the movies like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. By the way, Tony does say that the house shows and cruises are cool if you're trying to interact with the talent. You're able to possibly get merch signed or pics
Yeah.
with the wrestler. So yeah, like I said, that's the
Absolutely.
difference between the house shows.
Yeah.
I was your thoughts on and Andy will enjoy this part of the segment before we get Fonzie on. Your thoughts on the AEW Redemption pay-per-view that happened this past Sunday?
So it went down, pretty much what we were talking about as far as the
Yep.
the main event is concerned, and then the tag team match.
There was one surprise though. I like there's one surprise.
Which
Like,
one?
They gave
Refresh
Riddle the
me.
championship.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was
Dude.
remember that was the one that were like we both like there's no way they're gonna take it off
Yeah.
Tequila.
Dude,
They
that
gave
was
it
awesome.
to Riddle. So like I was good to see that.
Yeah, that was fantastic, and that's what we love to see. You love to see stuff like that, And anytime, dude, don't get me wrong. If we ever call something and it all starts coming to fruition, which this has happened, where it's all started coming true, dude, you don't want that to happen. You don't want to see that every time. You want the surprise. You want to be caught off guard. That being said, saying that Omega was going to go over Kevin Knight, we knew that was going to happen. However, that being said, Kevin Knight looked like $1 million up until the last 5 minutes. Until the last 5 minutes when Omega just started kicking his butt. So,
and we talked about the one that we thought was going to steal the night. Mark Davis versus Andrade? Yeah. We told you that was going to be the match, and I picked Andrade, and he won. Like I said, that's the one thing that the quality of wrestling has been top notch by AEW, and like I said, it's not even debatable. No. I mean, they're doing such a great job there, Jack. Your thoughts on now that with the whole situation with Kenny Omega and splitting away from the other guys?
So are you talking about like the heel turn that we saw, kind of?
Yeah. Not Kenny Omega. Excuse me. I'm talking about Ospreay. I'm thinking about Will Ospreay.
Oh, okay. It's number 3. Yeah, we're in the ballpark. So I was thinking about this, and I wonder if this is going to come into play. It 100% is going to come into play during the pay-per-view with Ospreay and Omega. Will the Death Riders interfere on behalf of Ospreay or against Ospreay? Because there's more to it. There's more to it than what we just saw as far as Kenny attacking Ospreay after the match. There's going to be more to it than that. So
Kenny Omega.
I mean, what the bait trigger?
Never in my life have I seen this. I think what they're setting up for All In is going to be great. Like I said, the one thing, it's going to be a long night when you're watching an AEW pay-per-view. But like I said, if you're a wrestling fan, they do a tremendous job. It kind of reminds me of what it's almost like what AAA is doing. The job the Undertaker's doing is tremendous down there as well. So I just want to say, now, for Andy's sake, I'm going to make it my mission that we talk more AEW because the other places are not going to be talking about AEW, in podcast format. So, I tell you right now, we will dedicate more time talking about AEW. We're talking WWE because this week.
And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and like I said, we're talking more WWE this week because it's SummerSlam. I view it as the number 2. WrestleMania is number 1 for me. SummerSlam's number 2. The Rumble's 3, and then I guess you got Survivor Series.
I'm okay with that. If you say that, I wouldn't disagree. For me, it's been Mania, Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, but I've had many great memories with SummerSlam, so I wouldn't mind that being number 2.
I'm very curious to see if they're going to fill it up, if they're going to be able to. Andy just told us about $25 tickets, and I'm more curious to see if they're still going to, the Eagles going to be up there and they're going to try to do 2 nights again next year, because they're not going to want to admit it. So, all right, so let's bring in Fonzie, who's been waiting very patiently. I'm curious to see what Fonzie thinks. Fonzie, first of all, bro, nice get up. I got your OU stuff. Before we begin, Fonzie, give me your thoughts on the Danhausen, Joe Hendry stuff, because I know when we talked before the show started, you're just you were with me, this is just horrible.
It was really horrible. I was like, what the hell am I watching? Yeah. I was like, Jesus, a skit of Saturday Night Live or In Living Color back in the day. That's what it looked like. It was horrible. I mean, at first I thought it was you hear the guitar, it kind of gives you the backflash of Walk with Elias.
You know what? When I heard the strum, because it sounded just like, so did I. I was like, oh wow, and then it was Henry oh okay, and then he started singing. Then he started singing, which is okay, and then when Danhausen was there, then they did the duo. I was like, what is this? And then the organ. And then the dancers came out, and then they didn't even want to put the mask on. You could see they were they wanted to do this or whatever. Then they started then I mean, you the whole Ryan Garcia fault. You can't fault him. He's just excited to be on WWE TV. They're just doing cross promotion for the for the big fight that he has. So there's nothing wrong with that. But still, by far one of the worst things I've seen.
It had a mixture of WCW in there. It's like, oh, let's have the Nitro girls come out here and dance and have interferences. And
I'm trying to remember what like I have seen that could even kind of come close to this, whether it be TNA, NWA, World Class Champ.
Do you remember the Rose
Yes,
Petals?
I do. Of
they would all come out.
the
Rosebuds or whatever the hell they were.
You know, it's funny. A lot of those Rosebuds ended up being WWE champions.
Superstars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Superstars,
Anyways,
yeah.
like let me move on. And I just like you can tell that I was like, what am I watching here? Anyways, what else is going on, Fonzie? I know you're happy as I was about Raquel winning the championship, Intercontinental
Oh
Championship.
yes,
also.
it's long overdue. I mean, she's paid her dues, and it sucks because now I think now they started it, and they're probably going to give her that nice good push to Mania, like I was telling you, and she may just end up going against Liv at Mania. But it's long overdue for her. I mean, she's seen all these young women come in and take that spot where she has paid those dues and gone through a whole lot, and she stayed there. And man, I'm very happy that she is the Intercontinental Champion.
Okay, I guess, gentlemen, the question I have, gentlemen, is how long do we think she's going to keep the title?
Oof.
That's a real. I'm
That's
thinking.
legit.
I'm thinking she might only. I'm envisioning. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm envisioning like
Yikes.
not even less than a month. You know.
You know what? I'm thinking she might lose it before Rumble. She wins Rumble next year.
Wow, that is a bold. That is a bold statement because I still
Yes,
think
it is.
that they got the what is the name of the other one? Judgment Day, not Live.
Roxanne.
Yeah, I think the money match might be Roxanne and Liv, and then like I said, don't forget the La Primera's coming back. She's got to be coming back soon. So like,
There's going to be a lot of enticed storylines ready to be told.
So
and don't be surprised if Raquel jumps ship to join La Primera.
Well, one of them is going to jump ship for without a doubt for the Judgment Day. So Felipe asks us, do we want SummerSlam to go back to a one-day night event and just keep Mania? Yes, absolutely, 100%. There is no
I'll
reason
take that all day.
to do a two-night SummerSlam.
There's been a lot of talk about that. A lot of podcasts. Everybody's starting to say that because you're losing the moment. Everybody used to just gear up for that one night, and it was great, and you would have those times blocked off. Now it's 2 days, and so you kind of get a lackluster of wanting to go back. And well, it's like we got 2 days of it. I mean, we're overexposed of a whole lot of wrestling.
Yes.
When we used to just watch it, man, we were lucky to get it 2 or 3 times out of the week. Now, if you put all these organizations, it's like you could probably tally up 6 to 8 times a week.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I mean, there's literally wrestling every single day of the week. You got Monday Night Raw. Today you have NXT. Then tomorrow you have AEW. Thursday you have TNA. Friday you have SmackDown. Saturday you have AAA. And then Sunday will be like a pay-per-view day if it's TNA so like almost every day out of the week if you're true hardcore. But the thing that intrigued me the most when we're talking to Albert, and like I said, Albert's the most hardcore wrestling fan that I know. And when I say that is my man is at home chilling, he'll put on social media, he's watching like matches from years ago. Like he'll put that.
Always.
So if somebody like Albert tells you, hey, it's hard for me to find TNA, we got a problem there, dog, because TNA, the Impact, don't they got the A&E network? That's where you can find their shows on Thursdays. But like you're right. I mean, sometimes it's like very hard to find wrestling. So, gentlemen, let's talk about the SummerSlam. Let's get right into it. Wait. Before I know you wanted to talk about Solo. Me and Jack kind of talked about Solo. So go ahead, Fonzie. Give me your thoughts on Solo Sikoa.
Hey, Solo gave a lot of rockisms last night, man. It felt good. It really is. And the crowd reacted to it like The Rock. They understood. They understood what was going on, and he was really good at it, very comfortable. Like
Yep.
you guys were saying earlier, that's just probably him. It really is, and unfortunately, his brothers are probably cracking up. They're like, "Look at you trying
Yep.
to look like The Rock," you know.
And
But
I will say he
worked.
still has one of the best intro songs. He's got one of the
Right.
best intro songs. Dun dun dun, getting it up, and you start dancing. All right, so let's talk SummerSlam because we're getting close to the top of the hour. So once again, like I said, if you have to pick and choose, let's put the let's put the let's put the to the test. Let's put it this way: if you're in your car and one of the like you have to take a trip, wait and take the trip on Sunday so you can like listen to it on Sirius XM WWE radio. If you're gonna watch one of these two, you have to pick and choose. Obviously, watch both, but Saturday's the night. Saturday is gonna be the night. So we're gonna start with Sunday. We're gonna preview Sunday first because I think the banger of the night is going to be Saturday. So let's start with what's going to happen on Sunday. Gentlemen, we begin with the U.S. title match. Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin. Mr. Young Rock of Jack Rock. What do you got in this one?
I think, man, look, Trick is just he's on that train. He's got too much steam going, too much steam. And don't get me wrong, it's great to see Baron Corbin back. It's good to see him, become, the Baron Corbin that we would see back in NXT.
Yep.
This ruthless guy. I think he came back against the wrong dude. I think Trick is going to take it.
Fonzie.
I hope I'm wrong.
I think they got to take that title off because they're going to put him in the title contention for the World Heavyweight title.
Good
So
point.
they're starting to run out. They're starting to hate what they're seeing all the time. So they got to put new guys in. He's got to relinquish the title. Baron Corbin's a veteran that's been in the WWE, so he knows what the business is. So I think Trick is ready to take that next step and challenge for for the World Heavyweight title.
I can see that. He's red hot, and he comes off like if I haven't mentioned WWE Unreal because we watched last week we hadn't seen it. This week I have seen all of it, and Trick Williams comes off very, very well in WWE Unreal. But that match, I think it's going to end disqualification because the other guy, what's the other guy's name? Remember that he was in that feud with Trick. He's going to come in and interfere, because you can't.
He's gonna cost him the title.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, okay, so number one contenders match: Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. Fonzie, who you got?
I got Finn Balor. He's going to return to that prominence as well.
Jack.
He's due. I mean, it's very unfortunate ever since they took the title off of him when he was the first Universal WWE champion.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jack.
I think this is the best Finn Balor we've seen since he got injured. And remember when that happened, when he got injured, he really wasn't the same after that. He was still delivering great matches, but I think now he's at that caliber of where he was when he was in title contention. So I think they're going to put him back in there. It's a smart thing to do.
I just like it that when he was the Demon the last time, he did not lose because there was a couple of times where when he was a Demon, lost to Roman, lost to Edge. I mean, come on now. So he used to be like the younger version of the Undertaker. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio for the Human Monies match.
Look at that eye roll. That eye roll, monster.
I just give me the name. I don't need predict. Just tell me who wins it. Fonzie, who wins it? One name.
I'm going to say Dominic.
Jack.
Danhausen.
I say Danhausen because they still got to roll with this. Joe Hendry's going to get involved. Whatever. This is an interesting one. I already kind of picked who I want to win. We still don't know who else is going to be in it. WWE Women's Championship ladder match: Stephanie Stratton versus Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair, and the one I want to win, Chelsea Green, because I think she's got the. Oh my God! Can you imagine if she wins? It'd be like it would be the same way when Liv Morgan cashed in the Money in the Bank on SummerSlam when she won her first WWE Championship. It'll be the exact same recognition if they actually have the chutzpah. That means the balls, y'all, to give it to Chelsea Green because without a doubt, she's a star and she deserves it. They need something different. Like Fonzie always talk about, they got to lighten it up. There, but we don't know who's going to be the other wrestler. So my favorite going in is going to be Chelsea
I'll
Green.
tell you, the other wrestler is going to be AJ.
No, she's not going to be there. No.
Yikes.
Yeah, Jack, who you got in this one?
Chelsea. I'll roll with it too.
Ponzi, who you got?
Well, I would love to say Chelsea, but they're going to give it to the 14-time women's champion. They're going to give it to Charlotte. Woo!
And so the match of the night that we think is going to be on Sunday, Penta versus Chad Gable. I mean, how long has Penta been the champion?
Wow.
It's been a while. WrestleMania.
No, he had it before that. He had it way before that. He won it in January. Or did he win it in December?
Rumble. Didn't he win it? No.
He won. He won it on a Monday Night Raw, if I am correct. I'm just trying to remember if it was December or early January. But nonetheless, he's had the belt for a long time. You had Chad Gable's paid his dues. I mean, this is the one that I'm intrigued
His apology tour.
Yeah, so this is the one where I can see. I'm gonna go for the upset win, and I'm gonna say Chad Gable's gonna win it. Joe's gonna be mad at me, but I'm going with Chad Gable. Jack.
So this is the match, guys, that if they were to have this match on Saturday, there would be no point in having a Sunday match. There'd be no point. This is the match that I think this is going to be probably the number 2 match, maybe the number 1 match of the pay-per-view. It has that potential because of what we've seen Gable capable of doing, in the ring, especially with Grande Americano. They're going to do it again, and they're really going to showcase Penta's skills. I think he's going to look great in defeat, so I'm going to say Gable.
Fonzie.
I'm going to say, just like you were stating, Jack, after having that great match in AAA, they're going to roll off that. This is going to be the steel show match of the weekend. It will be the number 1 match, and they're going to give it to Chad Gable because for the work that he's done and everything that's done.
So we're all picking Chad Gable, right?
Across the board.
That means Penta's gonna win. That's all I know. And then finally, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Look, I mean, you're not gonna take the belt off Roman this fast. I mean, I know he's got it since SummerSlam, but since WrestleMania, it's maybe his second title defense. He's not gonna lose it. He's not gonna lose it. There's no way. I mean, so that for me, that's the. I'll be honest. I'll be shocked if he loses, but I don't think it's gonna happen, because unless Braun Breaker interferes. But then again, if Braun Breaker interferes, then you got to know Seth Rollins thinks that they've already moved on from that. So I don't know. So we all kind of move on, and we all agree that Roman Reigns is gonna win that, right? So let's go to Saturday. That's the day. Saturday first match, Fatal Influence versus Paige and Bella Twins. No disrespect. I mean,
Bella Twins have no business being in the ring anymore.
We all agree Fatal Influence is going to win, so let's move on. Should be a good match.
Whoa, I'm a Bella Twin. I'm part of that army right there.
Okay, well, we'll see. Something's got to be different, all right? So let's start with the matches that are very intriguing. First of all, Women's World Championship match, Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Is this her first title defense for Liv Morgan?
Maybe.
I believe so. Right?
I think so.
Or second. No, I think it's the first one. Since
WrestleMania.
Are they going to make her drop? I know she's been the champion since WrestleMania. Are they going to really let her drop it, the first title defense she has? I mean, that's what happened with Jade Cargill, right? That was first defense or second defense when she lost to Rhea. I don't know.
Same thing.
Fonzie, we'll pick you. Who do you got in this one?
I'm going to take Liv, man. I've loved how she's come up and she's earned her spot. I think why she probably hasn't defended the belt is because she's been hurt. Just like your girl out there, she's been hurt, so take some time off. But she's able to do backstage stuff, so she's starting to get back in her groove. I think Liv wins this one.
Jack, what you got?
I am going to go on the Liv line too. Yeah, we'll say Liv.
I will say Io Sky just to be different, but I do believe that Liv Morgan's gonna win.
Just to be different.
Yeah, 6-man tag match: LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys versus the Bloodline. I will take the blood. I'm taking the Bloodline just because of Jacob Fatu. Unless Fatu betrays his cousins and goes
It's
with
too
LA
soon for that.
Knight.
It's too
Yeah,
soon. It's too soon.
correct. Yeah, but that's
got
what
War Games coming up.
we're not expecting that. That's a and you don't
We're
turn
not in
solo.
Mania season yet.
You don't turn solo. I mean, he's starting to
No.
peak as like a funny guy. So I don't know. I'm going with the Bloodline just to be different. So Fonzie, who you got? Just tell me the team.
I'm going to say the Bloodline and a new member joins the Bloodline.
Wow, Jack, who you got?
This is hard. This is tough. This is probably the toughest one I think of the night. I think that you have all the talent with LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Dolo. But there's a lot of combustible opponents with in that group. I'm going to say the Bloodline. Yee. Unbelievable.
Well, what if LA Knight turns on them and he becomes as much as he's like I hate the Bloodline? What if all of a sudden he becomes like what were they calling Sammy? Honorary Oos? What if honorary Oos, honorary Knight? Yeah, like think about that. Before we get to Hell in the Cell, Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Like I said, people have never seen Nick Aldis wrestle. You're in for a show because first of all, when he removes that suit, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, he's like an Adonis." He's like. Have you never seen him wrestle in NWA? I mean, Jack, we'll start with you. Do they actually give Gunther a loss?
I don't think they're going to have Gunther lose. I think Gunther's going to win, but I think Nick Aldis is going to look great in defeat.
I agree. I don't even have to add anything else. Fonzie, your thoughts?
I agree as well.
Okay. Hell in the Cell, Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. I would be shocked if Brock Lesnar wins this because we're all assuming that he's going to go away for a couple of months. Obafemi should win this match. I'm expecting to be good. Because first WrestleMania was a squash for Oba. The rematch was a squash for Brock. So this is going to be the trifecta, what they call the rubber match. The more intriguing thing, what was the over-under, Jack? 12 minutes?
So once the bell starts, once the bell hits, 12 minutes. Not counting the intros.
And I said
over.
It's
going to take like 3 or 4 minutes for both of them to come down.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we're talking bell to bell, 12 minutes.
I see now that you put it that way because I was kind of counting the intro, but I already said that no, I won't. I'll say it goes over 12 minutes. Andy said 12 minutes. So Fonzie, I guess the only question we got from you, does it go over 12 minutes or under 12 minutes?
Over under.
It's going to be from 12 minutes to 15 minutes. How about that?
Wow, he's going over. They're giving
a
lot of time.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
And finally, the WWE Undisputed Championship, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. This should be a banger of a match. Hopefully, if they stay true to form, it's one of these where nobody interferes. But believe it or not, of all the matches, I can see somebody interfering here. So Fonzie, we'll let you pick first. It's gonna be I'm wearing both of their gear, so like I'm kind of torn here. Not really, but Fonzie, who you got, bro?
You know what? You would always want to say Cody because he's supposed to be the face, but he really isn't. Everybody's showing up that night to watch Brock and Oba, and I'm going to take CM Punk to win this match.
Jack,
I will take CM Punk as well. That's a good call.
You're not going to have CM Punk lose it not even a month later. No way. There's
across
no way
the board.
Across the board. So that is going to do it. We'll see how we do next Wednesday. Fonzie, thank you for joining us, brother. We'll do it again next week, brother. Take it easy. There's my back. He's too sweet. There is Fonzie.
There you didn't see my shirt, huh? You didn't see what I'm wearing?
I can't even. I can only see your head. Double Dare. Nice.
It's the red team.
Yeah, nice. I remember watching that when Nickelodeon first started, so it just shows you there's a slime. There's a slime. All right, Jack, try to be on time next time.
I was trying.
I know you are.
I was held up at the station. I was held up at work. Yeah.
There you go. I
That's
want to thank
funny.
everybody that joined us. Want to thank you all for joining us. We'll see what happens next week. We'll have a time. Here we go. Before we go, Randy Orton returns and screws Cody.
Good
My man
call.
Felipe with a banger to end the show. Great job,
Good call.
Felipe. That is
Good
I
call.
hadn't even thought about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton for a long time. So that is a proper way you end the show. So that is gonna do it. All right, Jack,
Yeah.
we'll do it again next week. 3, 2,
Good job.
1. Good job. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.